Howdy there, folks, and welcome back. I hired some more mech warriors. I have been working on the ship, and, well, we sold off some of the scrap and crap that we have accumulated. We have a Panther now, which is nice. You know, that's pretty good. And, I think the MRM-40 trick is a pretty good trick. Nobody expects you to whip that out, especially on a lighter mech. People will be like, Tex, you're insane. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm playing as periphery people, and we do this. However, I'm running out of things to do here at my little 35 tons to beat up somebody's kid. We may have to go to a new planet. So let's go ahead and choose a new world. Wow, that seems rather angry. Considering that I am just a soft little baby, I'm going to try to choose a planet that is not that hard. Oh, Martian atmosphere. Oh, Ark Royal, owned by Clan Wolf in Exile. We might actually go there after this, just to see if there's any work and or good loot. Because, man, that's the money. That's the money right there. That good old-fashioned clanner technology. But hey, let's go work. Let's see. Where does this one go? This one goes to Cumbia. Hold the line. Oh, Nova Cat forces. Mercenary repulse. Yeah, you know what? Clan salvage sounds great. And we'll come back when we've gotten there. So, the magic of editing. Alright, here we are, entering orbit. Did a little bit of work on the engineering stuff, and I took some money and trained one of our guys because he had a negative trait called klutz, and I was like, well, we'll fix that. But we're almost broke again, and that is expected. So, look, I hired a guy named Crow. That's good, because it's Mike, see? Hello. It's all good. And, boy, yeah, I mean, we should be able to go down here. Defending a base says it's a half skull difficulty, but we know how accurate the intelligence reports are, which is to say, they are not. But that's kind of normal in military intelligence, even when they're really accurate. They're wrong in some way, or they are so rare in their accuracy that no one believes them. Which is kind of the problem with military intelligence, is even if you take educated guesses, you're going to be wrong, and enough bad educated guesses, and people get mad at you. They go, why are you telling us the wrong thing? And you're not trying to tell them the wrong thing. It's just that guesswork is hard, and if the enemy is trying to do things like cover up what you're doing, and cover up what they're doing and obfuscate things and add to the fog of war, you will find that, it's a lot harder to make those accurate guesses.
Command interface initiated.
Hence the push for a lot of people now embracing open source intelligence as just as valid as all the other stuff. Like, there's SIGINT, signals intelligence, there's humans, human intelligence, which is, SIGINT would be like the NSA, and HUMINT would be like the CIA, and then you have MASSINT, which is a little bit more in depth and has to do with observing a lot of things as they're running and figuring out, sketching an outline of capabilities based on that. So that's more radar stuff. And that there's a lot that goes into that. Satellite intelligence, of course, that's your NRO and stuff like that, where you have your big spooky satellite in orbit, and its job is just take a guess and to figure out, you know, like where all these guesses go and where things are supposed to be and all that. But OSINT, open source intelligence, is interesting because that is drinking the data streams as they come in, as provided through open and available to all sources. So you're not drinking it downstream of your satellite. You're not drinking it downstream of, you know, your spies or your sources. Instead, you're doing stuff like watching 100 Telegram channels at once and looking through and watching as people... Oh, a fire moth? That guy's carrying some fucking elementals. I bet you. I bet you he is. But yeah, open source intelligence is using all of the aggregate of openly, publicly available sources, because we live in this cell phone era of everyone having smartphones and everyone constantly uploading all the shit they should do, which is naturally a big producer of a intelligence footprint. The problem is that there's a lot of more people who think that their work is in intelligence because they just watch Twitter and Telegram and they go, well, you know, I saw all, yep, that is a bunch of elementals. Oh boy. Right, well, at least some of our turrets are working. The elementals are going to murder anything they get in contact with, so naturally I'm a little scared. That being said, a lot of people think just because they can observe the same intelligence sources as an intelligence officer or a trained intelligence operative, or a case officer, as is the polite term, they will have the same insights. And it's true that you can have the same observations as everyone else through open source intelligence. You can see the same pictures, but that does not mean you have the same training or understanding of how to vet intelligence sources as reliable or misinformation, or merely one point of view in an overall ongoing narrative. So intelligence is funny. Now in the Battletech world, intelligence is very Cold War kind of intelligence. There's a lot of signals intelligence. It's a lot of paying people off. What do you hear? What does the client hear? Going through up and down channels of available intelligence and trying to have a guess as to what you're going to face. So it's very much old school intelligence methods, because there is a bottleneck in information. There is a massive bottleneck in information, faster than light information, with the HPG network and Comstar being what they are. So the available bottleneck in information produces a very Cold War style intelligence world, where intelligence is ruled more or less by intelligence officers and or information brokers and large networks of people who are sharing information, whether openly or clandestinely. And it makes a very interesting intelligence picture. So while I may bemoan the accuracy of our poor intelligence officer on our ship, I have to keep in mind, in his defense, he is a guy, not a team of analysts. He's a fella, one person, who has very limited access to intelligence and very few resources. So he has to basically drink in what is available, probably through public broadcasting and house intelligence services, which may be concealing information, naturally, and deceiving anybody who's working for them, because they would have to pay them more, which is probably not a good thing. But we'll see. Alright, battle armor destroyed. So you have to understand that our poor intelligence officer in a mercenary unit is probably going to only be able to have whatever the House military intelligence gives him, whatever RUMINT, which is not a formal intelligence method, but that's what we call rumor-based intelligence, where we said, I've heard that this is common, and other people are whispering about this, which is very informal intelligence gathering and is not actually intelligence gathering. But rumor is more or less quite part of the game, because those rumors will let you actually then go investigate, follow up, and try to find out more information, and then to prove and substantiate and make viable a case. Now, this is why you bring flamethrowers, by the way. Oh, battle armor, that's great. You can think about that in the fire room.
Orders?
Yeah, let's just blow up the battle armor first.
Firing all weapons.
I think I hit a battle armor with a PPC, so that's
Solid connection on that one.
that's badass. Oh wow, did you see that guy leave orbit? Holy shit. That guy's gone. He's like, my people need me. Good God. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. These realms of intelligence gathering, and I must admit, as a caveat, I am painting with very, very broad strokes here,
Firing full complement on enemy.
because I am not going to get into a multi-part lecture series on the nature of intelligence gathering and how it has changed in the past 40 years, and the generational changes and observations, and all the tropes that people get wrong. Instead, I will encourage you, if you're excited by these subjects, to go study them. And to please remember that nobody on YouTube, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people on YouTube are actual researchers with any sort of background in this sort of stuff. So a YouTube video is not a good source for this. You're going to need to dig a little deeper, and that's okay. That's how we learn things. You should always use your exciting first brush sources with stuff, like a YouTube video or a TikTok or whatever lights that little fire of this factoid is very interesting and pleasing. And then you should use that to follow up and find more information that gives you a greater, broader understanding and a firmer grasp of what we like to call primary source information. I did have somebody get very upset at me because I pointed out that a YouTube video that they shared with me was not a good source of information, because by watching their video that they had provided for me, I could debunk about 10 different things using information I knew on the subject, just from a long history of study on the subject in question. And this person got very upset because they very much liked the presentation style and found it very entertaining. And I explained to them, there are many things that I find very entertaining that are performative arts. But a performative art is not necessarily going to be the best source of information. I may, for instance, like Hamilton, for instance, but that is not per se a very accurate look at Alexander Hamilton or any of the other early history of the United States or anything like that. I may enjoy the musical Les Miserables, but that has almost nothing to do with the understanding of the original novel or even the difficulties of that era of French history. And I was not trying to pick a fight or become cross or angry with somebody or try to demean that which they enjoyed, because everyone is allowed to enjoy what they like. But I was trying to encourage them instead to find a greater source of information so that they, if interested in a subject, could arrive at a factual-based understanding of it and educate themselves and to hold that knowledge as their own, and that it would help them in future understanding of the subject at hand. I'm not trying to demean any YouTuber who makes entertaining videos on a variety of subjects, military subjects, or spy subjects, or history subjects, but I encourage people to understand that which is mainstream and very interesting is not necessarily accurate. because there is a certain performance
Solid
art
connection on
that goes into making things popular. A great example of this is movies. You'll find a lot of movies that are very, very fun, very interesting, but not very accurate, especially when it approaches on history stuff, and that's okay. Because if you made everything 100% historically accurate, it may not be a fun movie. I don't think anyone wants to watch a medieval movie where your protagonist has awful teeth, or has, like, visible stink lines, or the natural light that existed in most scenes being incredibly dim and dark. No one wants to watch a movie in the dark. So naturally, you have to make some very modest substitutions to make things more palatable, and that's more than acceptable for me. That's why I also enjoy stuff like fiction. Because fiction doesn't have those constraints. It can be entertaining for the sake of being entertaining. It can be cool for the sake of being cool. And that's more than fine. But I do caution and warn anyone out there that has to accept or is finding an interesting YouTube video on the history of this thing or that thing. I encourage them to go read sources that aren't Wikipedia and aren't Reddit and aren't a YouTube channel.
Commander?
But instead, to commit themselves to teaching themselves how to do a little bit deeper understanding and analysis so that they can drink in those primary sources and walk away a wiser, if not smarter, person for the effort.
Oh, it's on now.
Now they're going to
Target
die.
neutralized.
A salvageable part of Kleiner technology. Well, I'll be taking this to the store.
Yeah?
Alright, let's see. Do we have anything else on the radar?
Got it.
Right here. Location confirmed.
I'm just going to run my guys in a few different directions, trying to see if any of our radars can reveal
Let's hit 'em
any
hard.
further Kleiner nonsense. Looks like we have 2 contacts coming in. Probably similarly light mags. Now that Kid Fox, that's not a mech to joke at, because a lot of Kleiner stuff punches way outside its weight limit. They are... Wait, no. There he is. When you put your headphones on the wrong side, you hear sounds on the wrong side. So you're going to see me continually panning in the wrong direction, and I just realized that. And I am an idiot, but that's okay. We knew this going into it. 30 ton, and another mech. I mean, mislinks.
Enemy flanking.
Alright. Griffin says no.
Do they think they can hurt me? What do you need? Heading out.
Alrighty. Another Kid Fox.
Acknowledged.
I would love, love, love to get one of these. These are very fine light mags. And I think 1 or 2 of
Yes,
these would
Commander.
be a very fine machine for my collection. Alright, we're going to run. And then I'm
All
going to
that.
jump over that and come up behind them. Come on. Come to Daddy.
Good to go. Hey, let's see what this baby can do.
It can fall down and break.
Orders.
Alright, I'm going to just run up here
Double time. Let's go.
and be like, Clanners be gone. Yeet. Okay, 1 laser hit. Left arm destroyed.
I think I hit something good.
All right, everybody, let's get this done.
Let's have this party started. Yeah. Oh, missiles incoming. Ow, 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 ow. Ah,
They got a lock on me.
oh no. He's using that Kleiner technology to do smart
Receiving
people
you.
stuff. unfortunately has very little impact on me because I'm in inner sphere dumb people. What that means is I'll do what I want anyways.
Yep.
He's like, I use smart people technology, and I'm like, and I did not. All right, 50. Yeah, you know what, Kid Fox, you're gonna get it.
Okay, I'm on it.
Some of that there cleaner technology is mighty fine. Taking the whole mech in is probably not going to be possible. But getting parts of it, including just those LRMs, could be very delicious. Clanner tech is nice.
Yeah? What can I do you for?
A bagel and a cup of coffee. All right, here we go. MRM-40.
Consider it done.
Ooh, engine crit.
Critical hit, Commander.
You're gonna fall down now.
Ready for orders.
Kid Fox. Kid Fox, die now.
Giving him everything I've got.
Nope, I managed to miss with lasers, which is always astounding to me.
Negative damage.
It's a straight beam of light, boys. How do you miss with that? Well, it'd be kind of interesting is to have a laser aiming system where you have a laser mounted above your laser, and the laser mounted above your laser is just a targeting laser. And as soon as you shoot that out and it says you're on the target, then the second laser fires that instant. So you paint it roughly in their direction, and the instant it crosses that threshold, it pulls the trigger. That would be kind of neat. Kind of broken, too. Well, he's not going to do too well. I think they sent some young clanners out here to get experience, and they found out that Steiners roll heavy. Whoa, don't do that.
Light damage, Commander.
Don't do that. That's not very nice.
Moving to position.
Hi, how's it going?
Take this. Show me your war face.
Well, I think their war face is dead. I think we blew it off. All right. Excellent.
Good to go. Affirmative.
Mistlings. Excellent.
Acknowledged. Scored a critical hit. Waiting for orders.
All right. I think this ought to do it.
I'm gonna give them the big bubble.
Excellent. Let's reduce that salvage to pieces. And we can rake the electronics out of the ground.
Commander.
Oh, here we go.
Moving out.
Uh-huh.
Here it comes. Hostile eliminated.
I would say so. Sit tight and I can collect you.
Successful.
You're like, do we get ice cream? And they're like, no. Under no circumstances. I'm like, can we have a bite of something nice? And they're like, no, you may not. You may go back to your room and smoke cigarettes. All right, let's see. Getting some of that good XP. Oh, Kit Fox parts. Kit Fox parts. Some of the clan double heat sinks, though. I kind of want those. It's, you know what? I'm going to take some of those. I'm going to take those double heat sinks. These will come in handy. And I'll just sell all the parts of this for big money. But yeah, those double heat sinks. All right, way to go. Because we go down to our mech bay, and like, nothing's broken. For once. And I think that is what we like to call a Christmas miracle. So it looks like they have some stuff for some, I mean, What about weapons? Let's just see what they have. Another binary laser. I did buy some Thunderbolts at the last place, but I have not seen ammo for such a device. Thumper ammo, flame, howitzer. Man, I tell you, life ain't as sweet as it used to be. But I'll go into the mech bay and I'll sell some of these things so I can pay my bills, right? Kit Fox parts, Urban Mech parts, Miscellaneous parts, Salamander battle armor. I'm going to scrap that, and the Fire Moth I don't need. I'll hold on to these in case the opportunity shows up to like put one together. Because if it does, I don't see why I shouldn't. And then sell that and become wealthy. A Blakist BattleMechs, huh? Alright. Okay. Seek and destroy. Payroll seizure, contested. Blah blah blah. Training day. Trap sprung. Oh, a powerful mech. Single mech out of nowhere. It's probably a trap, but that's salvage. And let's go do it. Let's go get not made,
Command
paid.
interface
Yes.
initiated.
All right. So, Rooster. That's a good call sign. So, I was thinking the other day, and I may have mentioned this before.
Got it.
But I've had frequently, or, well, less frequently now,
On the move.
because people have kind of got the idea that I'm largely a private person, and notoriously so. And frequently I will tell people, all the time, that I am not special in any way whatsoever. I possess no great skill. I am merely trusted by my team to make good decisions, and I am a good custodian of the resources I have. Merely that. Nothing really special. But as time goes on YouTube, I was looking back the other day and remarking that many of the people that were peers or were huge channels or whatever have burned out, disappeared, stopped making stuff.
Sensor trace. Looks like enemy reinforcements.
I'm not sure if that's, inevitable or
Yep.
the times, because the times have certainly gotten harder. The enshittification, as some deign to call it, of old platforms where they just become more cutthroat and, oh my god, that's 80 tons, fuck me. Where things just become more cutthroat and pay significantly less. One of the things I remarked upon was that, back in the day, Darkside Phil, at a very low subscriber level, was able to, pay for and own a condo in Washington. I think it was in Seattle.
No joy.
For not,
Commander.
for a channel of that size to be able to do that was not rare. That was common back then on YouTube. That's why a lot of people jumped on that bandwagon. For a long time on YouTube, people saw the means by which to make lots and lots of quick, ready, available money if you were consistent in what you did, because YouTube, helped you. There's been the continual enshittification of YouTube where a lot of channels will find that they'll have 100,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers or 500,000 subscribers, and they'll put a video out, and less than 10% will see it. And then that sucks. And so it's why I've kind of embraced the whole notion of word of mouth, because I saw a lot of YouTubers get very frustrated at this whole thing. They thought, well, if I'm not going to get seen, then obviously I have failed, or I have sunset, or, the system's against me, and I'll never amount to anything. And that's, tragic, because there are other options. There are many other options, and I have adopted the whole idea of, oh wow, we got a Hatamoto, we got a Wasp, and we got using a Hatamoto as a fucking wrestle hunk? Man, that's weird.
Moving out.
I mean, I'll take it, but anyways, the point I'm trying to make is you've got a lot of people who are out there trying to make stuff just to be big, or trying to chase that number go up thing, or what have you. And I keep falling back to something my grandfather told me, which is do a good job for 100 and not a shit job for 1,000,000. You know, don't try to be number one. Don't try to appeal to the world. Just do a good job for the people who appreciate what you do the way you do it. And that may not be the biggest number or what have you, but it's honest to what you are. And that'll help you do it for longer.
Roger.
Because you're not trying to be someone you're not. You're just trying to be yourself.
Damn it.
Now, there are some things that would make it certainly easier. I did point out that if everyone watching this right now went on my Patreon and gave me $5 a month, I'd have the funding to make 100 movies. Now, I'm not suggesting you do that, because that should be earned, and only at the end of the month, when you've paid all of your other bills, including things you want to treat yourself for working so hard, obviously. But what I am suggesting is that there is more than enough resources for the average content creator nowadays to get out and do and make this stuff self-funding and allow you to pursue a great many things. If you had told me 10 years ago I'd be making documentaries on Battletech and doing my part to help keep the community of Battletech alive and well in an era where people have very short attention spans and very, very minimal interest in anything that isn't automatically appealing to the mainstream, I would say, you know, that's crazy. And the fact that I would be known for it, that's crazier still. I would not be able to wrap my head around that.
Yeah?
But here we are. So, if you're going to go start making something, do what you enjoy, and trust that by word of mouth, if you do a good job, people will tell people who will tell people, because you built something earnest, and folks recognize that. Now, it may not be for them, not everything is, but if enough people are entertained by what you do, you can get by. It's like something Rudy Ray Moore proved. Rudy Ray Moore is a interesting fellow. He's one of my heroes. He's the guy who did Petey Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law, and Dolomite, and many other things. And all the big publishers said, there's no way in hell I'll make this. No one wants to see this shit. You can't just make movies with your friends and call yourself a filmmaker. This low-run, you know, poor budget shit appeals to no one. And he said, I bet there are people like me who enjoy this movie like I do in every city in America. And so for the first year, when he made Dolomite, he ran the only copy of his film in the trunk of his car from city to city and just showed it in small theaters. And by word of mouth, in 1 year in the 70s, he made something like $1 million, which was more than enough for him to get recognized and noticed and to continue to make films with his friends the way he wanted to. And he didn't care that they weren't as big as any of the other movies in his genre. He didn't give a fuck. He continued to do what he wanted. And he did it for the reasons he found entertaining. And I think that that is kind of the way to be an artist. You have to find something that appeals to you for you, and you have to drive yourself, and you can't worry yourself with number not big or number not go up or the system doesn't like me or whatever, because YouTube is a commercial entity that makes Google lots and lots of money by diverting advertising, hence the push towards shorter and shorter content and more clickbaity stuff and more clickbaity titles. And you'll find a lot of the content on YouTube is made for someone with a 6th grade level education or understanding, like most newspapers are.
Damn it! I took one in the
And I'm not shitting on them for that. That is just how you make things ready for mass consumption. But if you're not interested in feeding that market, you don't have to. That's the majesty of all this.
I'm taking the
Don't be
shot.
something you're not. Instead, just enjoy what you make and find reasons that are self-sustaining for you to make it.
Location confirmed.
And I have said something to my Patreons when I just finished my last Battletech movie, and I'm working on the next one now, but I said these things take almost a year to make. So I challenged everybody, and I do mean everybody watching my little video, that if you spent your time working on something, the same amount of time I spend working on my project, by the time I release mine and you look back at what you've achieved after 9 months or a year of solid progress on one thing,
Good to go. Moving to position.
see how much you've achieved. See how far you've come. Because if you can't draw, you spend 9 months practicing, you might surprise yourself. You think you can't sing, spend 9 months trying. You might surprise yourself. You can't play a musical instrument, spend 9 months practicing. You might surprise yourself. You want to speak another language? Shit, keep going. 9 months to a year of practice on anything. You'll achieve something. I mean, sure, naturally, you're not going to be fantastic. You're not going to be world class in 9 months. Very few people are prodigies, but I think
Okay, I'm on it.
that you can get a lot further than you know. And I think that you got this. The resources are there. The only thing you have to overcome is fear. Now watch me knock this fat fuck over. Here we go.
Firing a full salvo.
Wow, he seems not really bothered by any of that.
Heading out.
I'm just going to keep shooting this guy as much as possible.
All weapons are go.
Ready for orders.
All right, stand up. Let's please stand up. Let us stand up. Let us find our feet
Affirmative.
and shoot back. Oh, I got him stressed. I believe these are standard PPCs. The closer I get, the worse he's gonna be. I may be wrong, though.
Standing by.
Alright, the pilot has lost some consciousness, but that has never really hurt a inner sphere mech warrior.
Firing.
I'm just gonna keep giving this guy
Waiting
heat
for orders.
as a gift.
Move order received. Acknowledged.
Waiting for orders.
Now I'm gonna keep shooting into him, because he has an open torso right there, and if I can bounce that in there, that's gonna hurt.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Ooh, some of these might have gotten through. Wow. Okay, I think that's exactly what happened. Nice. That's all of them, Commander.
Successful.
Scrape the pilot out of there and get your mop and bucket, buddy. Oh, boy. Anyways, I hope you two guys don't mind me just talking about trying to let you know that you got this. Because a lot of the shit out there in this world is, like, overwhelming. A lot of it. I mean, most of it is overwhelming. But it's only overwhelming if you think everything has to be done today, or in the next 10 minutes, or in the next month. But it's not, because your future is measured in a human lifespan. And when you realize that things like giant cathedrals and giant stained glass windows and frescoes and everything are the product of human lifespans of effort, things get a little easier. Just keep that in mind. Anyways, I'm going to go down to the mech bay and try to put this thing back together. Alright. Heat sink's coming out. Artemis 4. You think I'm made out of money? Good lord. Alright, so we got some extra weight. Huh. That requires 9 tons. That requires 7 tons. I know, don't do it, Tex. Don't worry, I won't. That requires 10 tons. What if I'm just saying this out. No, all right. That would be crazy. I wouldn't do that unless. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and put that back in there. And then what I will do instead is I will put in. Ooh. Do I have ammo for a AMS? I have a half ton of ammo. Ugh. I'll put some medium lasers on there. Max armor puts us at. I don't need case. Oh. Put you there. Excellent. So yeah, 3 medium lasers. Its heat efficiency isn't what it should be. But you know what? I think we'll be fine. I'm just gonna do that. There we go. The alternate Panther.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
Alright, so we have some money. Not a lot. We have stuff we can sell, which is good. And I can just make the most of it. I would love to see if there were other weapons available. It would be sure nice, but unfortunately, oh yeah, I always buy AMSs while I can.
Available.
But it seems like the inner sphere has this ammunition shortage, which is oof. I'm just telling you, not a fan of that. This whole ammunition shortage thing. I think I'd be able to find AMS ammo everywhere, but I mean, maybe that's just me thinking out loud. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I'll see you guys next time. And please, remember to take care of yourself and look out for each other.
I started my tour out in October of '49. Joined a good company thinking that things would be fine. Went out to war and was hoping for riches and fame. But I'm now back in Van Zandt and planners are squarely to blame. I guess you could say that my gunnery was perfectly fine. I did my part and I managed to just hold the line. But the bastards kept coming, hitting us time and again. I'm now back in Van Zandt and planners, they are to blame. I've managed to do my part and I just can't complain. War's always hell, but there's always canopus cocaine. I was invincible, never once gave it to pain. But I'm right back in Van Zandt and planners are surely to blame. I set out for glory and fought battles among the stars. But fate offered less, all I've got now scars. All I can do is just sit back thinking over my pain. I'm square back in Van Zandt and planners are surely to blame. An urban mech is above everything awfully slow. And there's one thing about it that you probably know. An AC-10 doesn't do anything without good aim. So I'm square back in Van Zandt, and this time I am to blame.